Hello, everybody. This is your weekly accountability call for our JuvaFit Challenge, and I am super excited. We are heading into week number 6. I cannot believe how time flies. My mother used to say things like that, and I used to think she sounded so elderly, but it is going by fast. I am finally getting the hang of some of the macros and everything that goes along with the keto diet. I think I'm getting the hang of working out and all of that sort of a thing. If you haven't checked in this week, please do so. It helps your team, but it also holds you accountable. And it is a challenge, and you did sign up to hold yourself accountable for the challenge. So hopefully everybody survived Fat Tuesday, followed by Valentine's Day. I know I went down a slippery slope yesterday and I had a scone, but I planned the entire day around it. That's what I wanted. Bill and I enjoy these homemade scones from this little local baker, and I was over her way, and we decided to indulge ourselves. So it's possible if you just track. So the JuvaFit challenge call last night was amazing. It was very, very good. It's a short call. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, make sure you watch that and get checked in. Did I say get checked in? Get checked in. So without further ado, I have asked Amanda, who is our team member, and she has participated in multiple challenges with another company. And I've known Amanda, I don't know, I think I've known you about 6 or 7 years maybe.
Yeah.
And she recently recertified herself as a personal trainer. Is that correct?
Yep. And nutritionist and transformation specialist.
There you go. There you go. So I thought it would be really fun to have her share some nuggets with us because some of us don't exercise enough, or maybe we exercise too much, or maybe we eat too much before, eat too much after. So there's just all sorts of questions that I had for Amanda, and I think Amanda is just going to be a powerhouse of information for us tonight. So I give you Amanda Seach.
Hi, thank you for having me. Yep,
So
definitely trying to get my gumption back here. So this is a good way to start it. So
that's
I
awesome.
appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. And I know Amanda you have had quite the transformation in the past with really honing in on your exercise routine and your nutrition. And I know recently you lost a lot of weight due to stress, which we're not recommending for anybody. But I wanted you to address the exercise thing because I know when I talk to people about the challenge, they're like, I don't have time to work out, or, I work out 3 times a week, an hour and a half a day. And I want you to talk about balancing the exercise routine and how that impacts your body and your health.
Well, first and foremost, not exercising enough impacts your body, and then exercising too much also affects your body. Um, when you're first starting out, you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to go pump all this iron and all these weights. And, you don't want to overdo it. Sometimes less is actually more, because your body will start to get stressed out. And I've actually found that out myself. I hit a plateau there for a while. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm eating right. I'm going to the gym 5 or 6 days a week, or I'm walking or doing something, 5, 6, 7 days a week. Like there was one time it was like 15 days in a row without a break. And I had done some research that like you have to give your body that time to rest. And sometimes doing less is actually more. So when I went down to, this is going to sound crazy, but like 4 days a week, I started to notice a little bit more coming off of the scale. But something else too, it's like if you're trying to lose weight, like I was trying to lose weight and tone at the same time because I didn't want to lose all this weight and have, a lot of extra like skin or muscle hanging. So I was trying to tone and lose weight at the same time. And that gets very frustrating because 5 pounds of muscle is like this big, but 5 pounds of fat is like this big. So it gets
Right.
very discouraging for people. And but you know, even just walking 30 minutes, my mom goes to physical therapy, and her physical therapist even told her, you know, just walk. Like people don't understand just how much walking, you know, 30 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day, or if you have to go, you know, walk 10 minutes and then do another 20 minutes at another time of the day. It's, you know, minutes of activity that you're getting that you didn't have if you were sitting on the couch.
Right.
And so I've learned myself, you know, less is more. And, you know, you had, you know, said to speak on like benefits of exercising too without having to spend hours in the gym.
Right.
And I've noticed more results doing like 30 to 45-minute workouts instead of like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I
Right.
mean, if you get one of those 1.5 hour or an hour and a half, you know, there's sometimes where I'm actually having fun at the gym and I'm like, oh, wow, I've been working out for 75 minutes. Maybe it's time to, you know, go
Right.
home.
Right.
But, um, you know, you don't have to go to the gym to get activity in. The gym sometimes for people can be intimidating. You know, they're looking around at other people who are there trying to better themselves for other reasons. You know, you have your bodybuilders in there who are doing competitions. So they're in there trying to better themselves because they got to, you know, they have to do all their posing. So their goal and how they're trying to better themselves is different than, you know, how little Susie is just starting out and she's just walking on the treadmill. And it's like, it is intimidating. I was one of those people I didn't want to go. I'd go with friends or I'd have an accountability partner. Then the challenges came into my life. So there are so many other things you can do outside of the gym, you know, walking, you know, stuff at home. We're blessed to have Megan and Travis who post workouts for us. We can do at home. You know, I know that I don't have any free weights at home. I used water bottles one day as weights. Yeah, they're maybe not as heavy as the little 5 pounders I use at the gym, but it's still something extra. You
Soup
know,
cans.
yeah, soup cans, you know, the one day I was trying, you know, to work out with paint cans and I was going up and down steps. Well, we were also painting my room, so I mean, that was a given. So, but I was like, well,
That's a great suggestion.
I
Yeah.
want to see how many times I can go up and down these steps with these, you know, 2 cans of paint.
Right.
And I don't think I made it up the steps the whole way, and I was out of breath. So, you know,
Well, and so I guess for me, like I started sitting on the couch and working out. You can do seated jumping jacks, right? You
I
can do
just told my
late.
mom about those today because of her back issues.
You can sit up really tall and lift one leg and the other leg. I mean, that's exercising. So talk a little bit about weight training and like aerobics, which I know is kind of old school term, but getting your heart rate up for your heart's health because the heart workout and the weight training are different things and about resting and eating and the timing of all of that, please.
All right. So, like with the aerobics and stuff, that's obviously more cardio. That's going to get your heart rate going up a little more than lifting weights. I mean, you can incorporate cardio with, you know, your weights too. It's probably, unless it's like a lighter weight, probably not the safest thing. But um, with aerobics or something that's going to get your heart rate up, you know, you're going to sweat a lot more, at least I do, than if, you know, I lift weights. It's, and like with eating, I tend like for me, I work out first thing in the morning. I like to work out in a fasted state to where my body's kind of already been burning up some of those carbs while I'm sleeping, etc. So then when I go work out in that fasted state, to me it just works for me and it's not gonna, you know, work for everybody. And then when I'm done, I replenish that protein that I lost with either the refuel or, you know, I really like the Premier proteins. I've made Premier Protein pudding I found on TikTok. You know, you use the sugar-free Jello pudding and then like 2 tablespoons of it, and then whatever Premier Protein shake you want, put a little bit of whipped cream or Cool Whip on the top, and you have a little snack afterwards, and it's actually really good. um, and if you are one that, you know, you need to work out, say like middle of the day or towards the end of the day, I usually can't do end of the day because after working all day, I'm exhausted. But if people who, you know, have to go after work, something that you can think about is like 10 to 15 minutes before your workout, eat an apple or eat a banana. I mean, I know that's not really in the keto lifestyle, but you're going to go burn that off. You know, that's going to be one of the first things
Right.
you burn off during that workout. And
Right.
they also say like whole grains or like berries if you need that little bit of a jolt, or, you know, do like half a piece of like a whole wheat grain keto friendly piece of bread with some peanut butter, just something to get that little bit of carb for your energy and then the little bit of protein in there for your muscles.
Got
And
it.
but that's, you know, that's what we were taught and to do like prior to a workout, especially the ones who have to, you know, go after work and might just need that little bit of jolt of energy because those carbs, you know, will give you that little jolt to at least, you know, get through your
Right.
workout at the end of the day.
So if you work out too much, talk to us about cortisol levels and what that does to the body.
Well, and you know, just as much as we get stressed with our emotions and work and bills and everything else, you know, that's a mental stress that releases cortisol into your body. It's the same with your body and your muscles. And if you're, you know, working out too much, and especially if you're trying something new too and you're doing too much of it, it'll put the stress on your body. Hence, back to when I was explaining how I was doing 5 or 6 days a week at the gym. You know, I would lift weights, I would do the machines, and I wasn't losing anything because I was trying to work out too much. My body was stressing out and not getting the rest that it needed to repair the muscles, you know, repair, like sleep,
Right.
you know, it wasn't giving myself enough time to let the body heal. And it's like, okay, what are you doing to me? You're stressing me out. And it releases that cortisol hormone, which puts anywhere from 3 to 5 extra pounds on you when you get on
Oh,
that
wow.
scale.
Wow. Wow. I know Megan is always saying that after you do a workout where you stretch the muscles, which is what you want to do, you want to elongate the muscle because it builds strength, it increases support, it builds your balance, especially as we age. And then you want to give it a rest. You don't want to do like some of her workouts every single day, although I'm still hurting from the one I did 3 days ago. That was a good workout. The last one was with
Yes, it was.
she called it the memory workout where you do squats and then reverse lunges and then wall walks and then push-ups. And it's an amazing workout. I'm going to do it again tomorrow because I'm still feeling it, but I'm also feeling, that the muscles had kind of just gotten a little bit stronger and I feel stronger. My knees are stronger going up and down the steps. Um, and then I've just walked a little bit in between that, but for me, the strength training does not have to happen with a weight. Would that be accurate?
Correct.
No.
You can actually use your body weight
Body.
instead of just normal, like, you know, dumbbells or like going to the gym. You can do mountain climbers, you can do planks, modified planks, modified push-ups, anything that's using your own body weight, you know, as a resistance tool will, you know, help with the strength trainings, the
Right,
squats. I mean, you use so much, you know, that's all your body weight when you're squatting. You're going down so far and
right,
using your upper thigh muscles, your quads to pull yourself back up. And yes,
right.
Megan's workout, the one I did, the hit one, I couldn't move for 2 days. And I was like, whoa. And this girl thought she was in shape. Like she had me twisting sideways, like shuffling, you know, going
Yeah,
down and touching the floor. And I'm
yep.
like,
Yep.
wow, I was like, my sides hurt. I said, I don't work that part of the body out enough.
Well, one of the things that I've learned as I've aged and that I've learned from Megan is that the side to side range of motion really start to kind of become minimized as you age. And then also because that side to side motion gets
I'm
minimized,
on my call, but
balance
I
starts
will in a
to
minute.
become really challenging. And so I just think that that's interesting because, when she had that one move of the week where you were twisting and and lifting up in your carriage and twisting from the waist, which is what my girlfriend will talk about in 3 weeks, that can really build your core up and it can build your strength up. What I've noticed is like this week we have the move of the week, this downward dog, and then the cat or the whatever it is.
The cat cow or
And
whatever they call it.
yes, that. And so I have to get on the floor to do that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but now I'm able to push up and get right up off the floor, which, as you age, if you fall, you need to be able to get up, right? So I just am amazed as to how much stronger I've gotten just doing that type of workout. And the the one that you were talking about that you were sore from, I just last week was able to do it with weights, 3-pound weights. And I'm like, oh, it's amazing. Yeah. But it's slow but steady. And I say, listen to your body. I don't believe in working out until you're out of breath and sweating like a horse. And I actually think that releases more cortisol than is necessary. So
I agree.
anyways, and we'll
Yeah.
talk
And
about,
I
go
sweat
ahead.
constantly, so I could be sitting outside butt naked, excuse me, in the snow, and part of me would still be sweating. So it's
Right,
like I go for a 10-minute walk, I come back and it looks like I just ran a marathon,
right,
I just
right.
I'm a sweater.
Me too. Me too. That's why I don't go to the gym because I was never a pretty sweater. It's just like just stinky. I have a thing about, being behind other people's sweat. I'm like, so I like doing my workouts from the comfort of my own home. And you don't need a gym. So
No, you don't.
interestingly, today, I don't know if you guys subscribe to Dr. Mercola or not, but he had an article about doing planks, wall squats, um, all of the things that we do, like for moves of the week, actually, push-ups. And he has done some research and it says that that also helps to lower blood pressure. I believe that strength training and building up can help with our overall health and wellness as well. So,
Oh,
so
absolutely. Any kind of activity, especially like, the little exercises. I shouldn't even say little because sometimes I even have a hard time with them, but even your exercises you do at home using your body weight. I mean, it helps with so much like brain function. It helps relieve stress, just releasing those endorphins, no matter what kind of activity it is. It puts me in a better mood anyways.
So remind me again about the recovery phase. Should we be doing something in the recovery phase after we've overstretched the muscles and really kind of built them? Like, what I'm
What do you
wondering is, would it make sense to do like a stretching workout the next day to kind of, I don't know.
Actually, people underestimate stretching. But
Love
I
you.
was one of I was one of those ones who was like, I'll just bust it out. I don't need to stretch. And lately, when I am working out, I do stretch and you can feel those muscles stretching. And tell you what, after you do that one workout at first, and then your legs hurt as it is, you stretch and you're like, oh my God, that hurts so bad. But if you're absolutely dying and like absolutely hurting, you do what's comfortable for you. You know, if you want to take a day off, you know, you rest, recover, drink lots of water. That's a very important thing, especially when your muscles are sore like that, because the water is going to act like a lubricant for your muscles and your joints. So on the days that you work out too, they recommend for every, I think it's for every 15 minutes, an extra 6 ounces of water is what I was reading.
I did not know
Because
that.
when you sweat that out, you know,
You're
you actually
dehydrating
can
yourself.
become dehydrated. So, you know, if you work out, you know, for a half an hour, drink an extra, you know, 12 ounces, 8 to 12 ounces of water. So basically, like if you work out for a half hour, get an extra cup of water in. If you work out for an hour, 2 cups of water. So anywhere between, you know, those amount of ounces, I would say like for every, you know, 15 minutes, do like an extra 8 ounces of water. I drink water like crazy as it
Wow.
is, but sometimes I have noticed, you know, we've talked about the urine and everything and how you can tell if you're hydrated by the color of your urine and everything. And I've noticed if I'm not drinking enough after a workout, you know, it tends to be a little brighter than I want it to be. But
Right.
so
Right.
the hydrating is important too for recovery. And stretching too, because not only did you stretch that muscle now for your workout, but it's, you know, you're recovering and doing a stretch of that same muscle, even though yes, it's going to hurt. It's kind of like letting it kind of go back slower and not as like
Right. Right. That,
boom, like as
yeah, that
fast.
makes sense. That makes sense. Anybody have any questions for Amanda?
I was gonna say, if I don't know the answer right now, I'll love to research it for you and post it in the group.
I have a question, Amanda, about zone training. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like I've been reading that women, when we're in menopause or post-menopause, that we should be more in zone 2.
You mean like as in like the heart zone,
Yeah, like our heart
like
rate.
in heart zone, heart rate
Yeah.
zone. And you know what? I will be 100% honest. I am not all familiar with the zone training. It's not something that I've tried, and they didn't really touch much on it in school, but I would love to find out more and find out more for you. So,
That would be great.
will
That
you
would be
give
so
me
helpful.
like a
Thank
day or
you.
so, and then I
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could
you
do
can
that on a
post it.
future call with us, some zone training.
Post it in the group. Yeah, maybe we can talk about that in a couple weeks.
Right, that would be great if you find out information, because being a daughter and a lot of relatives have died of, cardiac disease, and we talk about zone training, and I kind of keep track of that when I'm on, but I have been reading about zone 2 training for women after post-menopause, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. So if you find
it
out,
does have something to do with your beats per minute
yep,
and based off of your current weight and what your resting heart rate is.
I've never
Like
heard of it.
I mean,
and your
neither.
age. So I will find out some more about that. Like the only, like I said, I'll be dead honest. The one zone that I know, like for me, if it's like 126 beats per minute to like 135, that's my fat burning zone.
okay, great.
And like 140 and over is like my CO2 or
Anaerobic. Yep.
yeah, it's your max, like
Okay.
Yep. And then you're
hit your
not getting
max
the
heart
true
rate.
benefits.
Yeah,
The
because if
older
you
you
max
get,
your
the
heart rate
lower.
out,
Yeah,
So
the older you get, the lower the heart rate needs to be. And for myself, I can't really get well, I can't get my heart rate up like I'd like to because of the foot injury. So if I walk on the rebounder, because I can't really jump or do anything like that. It's too dangerous for my foot.
Mhm.
So when I walk like around the block and I want to, or actually walk around my neighborhood and I want to get my heart rate up, I do arm
Mhm.
circles
Mhm.
and do this because
Mhm.
it's more than just walking, and it does elevate my heart rate a little bit. So I feel like I get more of a workout just doing that.
yeah,
You do.
sometimes even on the treadmill, like if you do have a treadmill
Melissa,
or
the
whatever,
fact.
put it at an incline. There's times at the gym I'm like this. I'm doing arm circles. People probably look at me like, dude, this chick's crazy, and I don't care. I'm like,
Oh,
listen,
all my neighbors look at me, I'll be like, hi, good morning. And they're kind of looking at me like, what a freak. I could care less because I'm like, you're still not cool and I'm working on myself. So it is what it is, right? So,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So
I did want to share some things with you guys too. Like,
please.
I was kind of shocked that like before you work out, you want to avoid like vegetables and stuff that would make you gassy because like they can make you feel full or bloated during a workout. So like, your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, any of those farty type vegetables is what I call them. Because they
Technically
they
speaking.
do fill up they do fill up your gut with like a gas. And
Right.
I mean, speaking from personal experience, I ain't gonna lie, we're all human here, but and same with like like high fiber foods like nuts and stuff because they don't digest as easily. So they said something to avoid um before workout is nuts, obviously carbonated drinks, even those Celsiuses that people like, they're still a carbonated drink. So anything with carbonation in it before a workout, they recommend kind of staying away from. And spicy foods because, you eat something spicy, say like in the morning, you have a breakfast, egg sandwich or something, you throw a little bit of Frank's Red Hot on it, in a couple hours you go work out. Well, now you have acid reflux or you have burps or something that's coming up burning. So they were just saying stay away from certain foods if you're gonna eat prior to a workout.
Right.
So
Next
I found
time,
that
can
kind of
I add
interesting.
something?
Oh yeah, go
Go
Can I
ahead.
ask something?
Yes.
The next time, can you also maybe inform us a little bit about the best foods to eat when you're coming out of a fast?
Okay. I do know but like bone broth, that is something very good to, use coming out of the fast. Um I'm trying to think because I fasted one time. I tried to do a 2-day, like 48-hour fast, and I actually got really sick. But I have heard like the bone broth and something with like protein. You obviously want to stay away from carbs and starchy stuff, and sugar coming out of a fast. But I've heard, the bone broth and protein, like, have like a chicken, something
Like
on those lines.
a protein shake like Refuel is really, really good.
I would say Refuel is great.
And particularly because I work with a functional medicine doctor on this, particularly whey protein and not soy protein.
See, I heard whey was bad way back when.
Yeah, there's a big debate about whey protein versus plant protein, but at this point, I don't think
Well,
the evidence is clear.
what I learned over the years is that soy protein will mess with hormones,
Mhm.
and
I don't need that.
I dug deep. I went deep into the woods on that, and I couldn't find any good things about the soy protein, especially for women. And I know that I've had friends whose doctors have said, just stay away from it.
Stay away from soy. So you're saying whey protein is better.
Right. And when I was working with a functional nutritional doctor, she agreed with what I had researched and said that whey protein is processed better. And I did a 2-week fast where all I had was whey protein. And then when you do a fast like that, though, you really need to be supervised because you need certain enzymes and certain amino acids in order to not, like what Amanda said, get you really, really sick.
Right.
So I
And what
know,
I'm referring to is, okay, like I have a cutoff time at 8 p.m. I will not ever eat anything
Me
after
too.
8 p.m. That's just no zone for me.
Right,
So what I've tried to do is go as long as possible the next day. And I've made it till about 1 o'clock.
right.
But I'm thinking what I've been doing is an egg, avocado, some
Perfect.
nuts, and I
Yeah,
didn't
that would be good.
the bone broth.
So that's intermittent fasting, which is different than fasting.
Oh, no, I
So-
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so intermittent fasting, if you can go between 12 and 16 hours, that's good for your body because it gives it plenty of time to digest
Mhm.
everything that you've eaten. And then what they say is eat your keto diet, your Mediterranean diet, your whatever in that 6 or 8 hour window. So I don't know, and Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know that it really matters what you eat when coming out of the fast, but just to have those meals within that
window.
time frame.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, and this is something that I learned, and I think I talked about this a few weeks ago on our call, even chewing gum
You told me.
will activate, because what happens is when something hits your mouth, some food hits your mouth, it secretes all of this stuff and it kind of, tells the body, okay, here comes whatever. And so it activates the whole body to prepare to digest whatever it is you're eating, right? And so I'll see if I can find that article again. Lori, I'll email it to you. Can email it to all you guys, but so when I was working with a functional doctor, she told me when you have that window, that 6 hour window or that 8 hour window, do not eat every other hour because you still need to allow your body time to digest and work through the first round of stuff that you did, so to speak. So she's like, when you eat and then shut it off. Don't be doing the snacky stuff because I was trying
don't
all these
snack.
different diets and all this kind of stuff. And then she's like, if you want the dessert, have it at the end of that time that you've eaten,
Oh, at the end.
and then wait 3 or 4 hours and then eat again. But she was saying, because I was told to eat, 5 little meals and all that. And she's like, your body never knows when you've stopped eating because you're
That's
eating
too
all the
much
time.
food.
And that's what
Well,
was drilled into
this
our
is good.
heads.
This is good
That's what was drilled
information
into our
because
heads.
I did
Yeah.
not realize there's a difference between intermittent fasting and
Right.
fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
That's
I'm
what
doing,
that was
is
my
I was
getting
thinking I was fasting, but I'm not. I'm
Well, you are, but it's
Are.
intermittent fasting, which means that you're not going a whole day
Yeah.
Right.
without food. And I
You're
don't
not putting your body
recommend,
in autophagy unless you're going 17, 18 hours more. And they recommend that you build up to that. So you would
Oh.
start with the 12-hour, right? You would build yourself up before you would just massively just go do a 2-day fast, Amanda.
Yeah.
Well,
would build
That was
up.
my
don't
fault.
think
They also
most
recommend
personally-
2 meals and 2
most
snacks
days
in
I
that
do,
8-hour window. And
Yeah,
I can
most
send you
days-
information from a book that I was reading, and she actually gives you a meal plan. So, and her book is about intermittent fasting. So,
Personally, I get headaches if I don't eat. I'm not a big eater anyway, and I don't snack.
well, you
So I
could be
don't think-
dehydrated also.
Pardon?
You could be dehydrated.
But I drink so much freaking water. It's crazy.
Well, when you wake up after you sleep, and I know, Lori, you are the queen of this.
32
I have
ounces
gotten-
before I have my coffee.
I have gotten better at this. I can't do that. Um, but I have gotten better. So when I wake up in the morning, if I don't drink 8 to 16 ounces of water before my coffee, like what you were talking about, I get terrible headaches and my blood pressure shoots up. And so now that I'm older, because as you age and you don't have hormones, women's blood pressure naturally rises. You know, doctors
not
want
know
this
that.
doctors want this idealistic blood pressure for, you know, like when they were like Amanda's age, and it's like, but as you age, your blood pressure elevates. Think about it. As you age, the arteries are becoming more hardened because that's a natural part of the aging process. And then if you're polluting your body, it's even worse. So the way that it was described to me is drink the 8 ounces of water. I try to do that before I get out of bed, although not as good right now because Bill is working all sorts of crazy hours and kind of tiptoeing around to make sure I don't wake him up. But that's supposed to be very, very important. And then as Megan was explaining it several weeks ago, it also flushes the toxins out of the body too. So there's all sorts of research about that as well. So the hydration is really, really important, but especially if you're fasting, because the body probably won't starve to death, but it will dehydrate to death sooner than it will starve to death, if that makes sense.
That does make sense, yes.
And I apologize for when you said fasting, my brain automatically went to the long fast. Because like the intermittent fasting, like I ate dinner tonight at 5:30 and I probably won't eat anything tomorrow till my lunchtime. I mean, I'll have my coffee. So it's not like, it's not a full like technical intermittent fast because I do have my coffee at like 8 in the morning, but I won't have actual food until either around my lunchtime until, about 6 o'clock. But, and how Melissa said about, you don't want to eat every hour on the hour, 5 meals in that window, because every time now you eat, you're spiking your glucose. And, say, your window is supposed to end at 7 o'clock, and at 6:45 you eat something. Well, your body takes up to half an hour to start to absorb all that stuff in your body and start to digest it. So now it's spiking your glucose again outside of the window that you wanted to stop eating. So now
Right.
it's like an extra 3 or 4 hours for your actual IF or intermittent fasting window to begin to where you don't
Right.
eat again.
Well,
And then
I
I
was
did get
becoming
sick because of the electrolytes, because
right.
when I started to feel lightheaded and sick, and I got the headache because we tried to do a 2-day fast with nothing but like black coffee, black tea, and like chicken broth. And so I tried doing that, and I think I lasted 39 hours, and I was like, okay, I can't do this. And I got on, the trusty friend Google, because it was before I went to school, and they're like, eat a banana, drink Gatorade, which I didn't want to do because it has a ton of sugar in it unless you get the one that's
Gatorade's
even.
awful.
So
But
the
so
all-water
I had a
water drops,
banana.
the all-water water drops have electrolytes in them. And because I live in the South, I really use those a lot in the summertime, especially if I'm out working in my gardens and everything, because the electrolytes in those all water drops is off the charts. I gave it to my male people. I gave them little bottles because they were just, just constantly walking packages, because we have a long way from the street to the front door if they're delivering packages, and they were getting really dehydrated. So, yeah, the electrolyte, that's what you have to be careful about if you're gonna fast. Now, I know at one point, Lori, you knew Blake, and I think Amanda, you knew who Blake was, right? And he was saying that some people will just do the refuel protein shake and just drink nothing but that for a couple of days. But that's good because it's a balanced meal in that refuel. But I don't recommend the 2-week fasting. I think it's very stressful for a
I
body.
can't do it.
And
I
did
found out
it.
I can't do it either.
I did it under a
I like
doctor's,
real food.
yeah,
I do
and I
too.
did it under a doctor's supervision. And honestly, I didn't lose anything, but it did kind of reset my body and my toxins that I had a lot of in my body. But she also had me on some enzyme and some amino acids and some other things to make sure that, I didn't put my body in shock. But intermittent fasting, I haven't spoken to any doctor who said, keep doing intermittent fasting because it's really, really good for you. And I feel really good that most days I can easily go 14 hours. Some days I've gone 18 hours, where I'm just really not hungry. And then other days it's like in 13 hours, I'm starving and I'm like, I'm just going to eat. I just kind of listen to my body.
Yeah. Can we talk about magnesium next time?
Yes.
I've been reading and hearing a lot about how important it is to the body,
It absolutely is. Yes.
but I'm not educated in that way, and I'd like to learn a
Well,
little bit more.
you need it every day. And I will email you an article from Dr. Merkla because he talks about that. The other thing is, I take magnesium baths every single night, which
I
are
don't have a
very, very,
bathtub.
they're very, very good for you.
I can soak my feet.
Well, that wouldn't hurt any at all, but because you can take magnesium up through your skin, just like you
Right.
can essential oils. And I take a magnesium bath every night, but magnesium is really important for lots of bodily function, and
Mhm.
particularly if you're getting muscle cramps at night, is normally a lack of magnesium.
Speaking that you say that, I don't know, for the past few months, every now and again, my hands get these terrible cramps, and so do my feet. So,
Right.
I've read, take a tablespoon of mustard, do the pickle juice, this and that and the other. Well, I finally, when I went to the doctor and had blood work done, he took two different panels, and he's like, I don't understand. He's like, the arthritis panel came back okay. The magnesium, the calcium, all that stuff that normally would cause cramping came back okay. And he's like, we're both just baffled of why, like x-rays, all kinds of stuff, like there's no bones out of place. So I don't know. And he tested me for carpal tunnel, and because I'm not getting shooting pains down my arms and it's not in my wrists, and like they don't hurt when I wake up at night, it's just like if I'm overusing them or if it's in a position for too long, like holding my phone sometimes, it'll
Right.
cramp up.
Well, that's
It's
a sign.
crazy.
That's a sign of inflammation.
Oh, is it really?
And inflammation is tested differently. Yes. And it could be, and most doctors don't test for this, it could be that you're lacking vitamin B.
Hmm.
I have started taking some vitamin B liquid supplements every day. And I'm noticing that my clothes are fitting differently in spite of the fact that I'm not I've lost some weight, but I'm not losing weight like I should be because, I've been trying to balance everything out. But if you lack B vitamins,
So
which
just
is
vitamin B, like not B12 or anything, just B.
B12, B6, all the Bs. Hang on.
It's in our Zing and it's in our Live products.
I do know
Speaking of
though,
live, where is our live?
the Rejuve has what, B12 in it now, I think. The Rejuve Plus.
Yeah.
I think
And
it
then
said
do
it
you have
has
Zing,
B12 in it.
Amanda? Do you have Zing?
I do have some of that still,
Yeah,
yes.
Zing and
I'm-
Live both have some of those. I'm not sure
I'm
about Live,
doing,
I'm sure Zing does.
this is, sorry. I can't wait to get I can't wait to get my cataract surgery. This is B2, B3, B6, B12, B5. And I was told to, because I tested for inflammatory markers, I did my own testing with Quest Diagnostics for inflammation, and there's a whole panel, and my inflammatory markers were not great. And so my girlfriend told me to take a dropper of B vitamins every morning and see if the inflammation doesn't come down. I can see the inflammation coming down on my face. I can feel it in my joint. So you might just try B vitamins. Zing that we sell also has B vitamins in it, but this one was like super powerful. So I think I bought this online. It's called vitamin B12 liquid drops. We'll see. I'll run another
Michelle, how
panel.
much Zing do you drink a day?
How much what?
I was asking Michelle how much Zing she drinks a day.
Michelle? Unmute yourself, babe.
I went to get my Zing and it has vitamin B6 and B12. It depends on if I'm doing weight loss or maintaining, as to watching my carbs. Because Zing has some carbs, so does Live. But if I put it in my meal plan, it's only 2 carbs for a whole scoop. But usually I do maybe 1 if it's a low day, like it gives me energy, right? Sometimes I do it twice if it's a 18-hour, if it's a long day, I might do it twice, but I can't do it too late at night because it does
Yeah.
give me energy.
No, yes, I was just gonna
And then
say,
I'm awake. So I try to cut off my Zing. Like I would love to do a Zing hot tea right now, but it would be too late. I have to
Right.
do it earlier in the day, like
Right.
early afternoon. But yeah, it's loaded with good things and all natural ingredients. Like when we read our ingredients for Juva, I love it
but try
because
B
we can
vitamins,
understand
Amanda,
what
because
they are.
I don't think you can get too much B vitamins. I'd have to
Okay.
research that, but I don't
Right.
think so.
Or send me a picture of that bottle you have, because if it's got like a bunch, a bunch of them, okay. Because I'll get online, see if I can find it.
Yeah,
But if
and
it's
it's
See what our
Salt
maximum
Lake,
should be
Salt
for
Lake supplements. How funny is that, right? Salt Lake supplements and
I've
it's,
got to go, you guys. Love
me
you. Thank
too.
you for all the information.
of
Yes,
course,
you're
bye, Lori.
welcome.
Okay.
Yes.
Good
Good
evening.
seeing you.
Thank you,
Yep.
Amanda, for all of
Thank you,
your,
Amanda. Very informational. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
Oh, good.
Of
Yep.
course, absolutely. Anytime. I like to help.
Okay.
awesome.
Love you,
All right,
girls.
we'll hear from you about your research and I'll send my stuff out as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll look into that zone training for you, Michelle, and I'll touch
Thank
back
you.
with you or find a chart or something at least to where, a lot of times the charts are beneficial where it can give your age, your weight, and then the
Well,
different zones
my issue is in the
for your
US,
heart
when I
rate.
worked out, it was right on the treadmills or the ellipticals. It was right there, just always posted, right? My gym here in Canada, nothing. So I
Oh,
didn't.
you're in Canada. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I'm in
cool.
Toronto
I didn't
right
know
now.
you were in
So
Toronto.
my gym has just nothing on it. And most of the time the heart rate things don't even work. So I have to use my, my wearable technology to kind of see where my heart rate is at. So I'm just curious, like, I think it even went by age on our treadmills and ellipticals, and it's the same chain of gyms. It's just a different country, right? So different equipment, even though
I
it's
was trying to see if my Apple Watch had the zone training option on there.
yeah, that
It
would be great
doesn't.
to know. I just kind of keep track of my heart rate to see where I'm at. I keep track of my resting heart rate, and that's kind of how I know if I'm getting sick. My resting heart rate will, be 10 beats per minute higher than it normally is. I'm like, what is different? So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
thank you
why I
I
was
so
love
much,
it.
looking.
Amanda. That's so helpful. And then Lori wants to know about magnesium, and then I would like to know, like, what's our maximum B6 like what's our maximum for B vitamins? So we had 3 questions for you for
I'll,
future sessions.
So like basically, is too much B vitamins harmful, or can you get enough, or can you have too much B vitamins, and what would the harmful effects be?
Right,
Right.
probably we just
right.
key it out, but yeah, it would be good to know.
I think I might, I'm looking on my computer
And most supplements, they kind of give you a range to try to stay in, but like for me, magnesium, I can take more than most people because I'm just so low naturally in my magnesium.
Well, most Americans, well, I know you're not
I'm
living
American.
in America, you're an American, but you're not, but most people in America are low on magnesium.
And vitamin D. Vitamin D too. If you live in the north, you never.
If you,
see-
yes, if you take, yes, and if you take vitamin D, you need to take it with vitamin K. You will absorb it better.
I was just looking at this packet that I got from when I did go through school and I printed it. It's got all the macronutrients and then it says micro. I don't know if you could see it, but it's like
Yeah.
maybe not, but the micronutrients too. And it's a whole list of the vitamins, and some of them have doses for like adults and children's, and like what the toxicity level is, like if you have too much,
Right,
like if you have a deficiency, what are some of the effects that you may be seeing in your body that could indicate a deficiency. And I was looking, it says vitamin B1, B2, B3, and I was looking to see if, it had anything of toxicity. Okay, so for B3, anything over 50 milligrams.
this is
That's-
20,
So our
so this
zinc,
is 1.7 milligram
lost
of
my
B2,
1.9.
20 milligrams of B3, 3 milligrams of B6, 1,200 micrograms of B12, and 20 milligrams of B5. I'll take a picture
and
of it.
like here, B6, it was saying like toxic levels, anything, over 300 milligrams could trigger some symptoms like diarrhea, skin irritations, lack of muscle control, numbness, light sensitivity.
That's a lot.
Oh, wow.
Like our Zing has
Yeah.
1.9 milligrams and they give us our percent on Juba of 113. So everything here is really proportioned for our benefit. But I just wonder, like, if you're doing extra supplements, how much?
Right.
Amazing.
Well, apparently, according to this, you can take as much B12 as you want. It says toxicity level, no adverse effects observed. So apparently, you can just down a whole bottle of B12 if you want.
I'm not gonna down all my Zing in one.
I don't know about that, but
Well, it has the B2, B3, B6, and B5 with it.
For your drops, for your B12 drops. Yeah, there might be something with absorption. Like, I wonder if you need all of those and it absorbs better. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm just gonna retest myself in a few months and see where my inflammatory markers are at. All right, ladies, thank you.
Okay.
Amanda, a wealth of information. Thank you so very much. Just
oh,
really
you're welcome.
appreciate
This
this.
made my
and
day. This really
I love
did.
that we learn from each other. I love calls like this. So thank you guys. And if you're not checked in, get checked in, please.
Yes,
Gotcha.
thank you guys for everything.
All right. Thank you.
You're
so
very
much.
welcome. Thank you. Have a great night. Bye,
All right, you
everybody.
guys too. Bye.
Bye.